Welcome back to the Einstein Bots for Salesforce Admins video series. This video is all about dialogues. So what do you think when you hear the word dialogue? At least for me, that's a term that means conversations. And that's exactly what we do here in the dialogue, or with dialogues in our Einstein Bot Builder. As we're building out those conversations that the chat bot is having with the person that's interacting with the bot. So what exactly does that mean? Well, first off, there's going to be several different types of dialogues. So if we come over here to the left, we have our welcome message. So this is where the message that we created when we first set up our bot is displayed. You can change that at any time simply by coming over here to the right, clicking the pencil, and dropping an emoji over there, or changing the text, whatever you want to do. One important thing to mention, at least from my perspective, it's really easy to make a change and then come over here to the left and move on to something else. Anytime that you change from one dialogue to another, you need to make sure that you save. You'll be prompted to save, but for me, it's one of those things that I constantly forget to do it. And I'm sure as I'm building out a very quick and simple demonstration of how to build a dialogue, once we piece everything together, I will most likely forget to save several times and be reminded to save. So saving is simple. You just come to the top right, hit save. You get the little checkbox. Everything's hunky-dory. Now I can move on. If I wanted to, let's say, get rid of this period and then move on to the main menu, now I've got a message about abandoning my changes that I just made because I have unsaved changes. Do I want to abandon these changes? If I accidentally hit yes, then that period's coming back. Or if I hit no, then I am prompted to come over here and save. So let's look at our special dialogues really quick. So we have the welcome one. This is the very first message or the very first dialogue that the person interacting with your chatbot sees. You can create your own custom dialogues that have whatever you want in those, and then set those dialogues elsewhere. So for instance, if I want to create a new order to be my welcome message, I can set that as my welcome just by clicking on the little caret and setting as welcome. Same thing with main menu, no available agents or error handler. Additionally, you can delete or edit or even clone a dialogue based on if that's what you want. Really, the welcome, the main menu, the no agent, and the error handler, how they come out of the box generally fits most use cases. But again, you can customize this thing to do whatever you want. Main menu. So this is kind of a straightforward thing as well. This is a menu that we're showing to the person interacting with your bot. So if I click on the actual menu down here, we can see that I have a few options as far as what to do next. So, and these options are the same kind of options that you'll have as you're building your bot, as you're building out your dialogues, and you're stringing all of those dialogues together. You're going to choose what happens next. So, for instance, you may have a dialogue where there are several interactions back and forth between the bot and the person interacting with the bot, and then you're either going to transfer to another dialogue or wait for the person interacting with the bot to say something, or just to show a new menu. I'll show you some examples of that in later videos once we kind of piece all of the parts together. But you can see we've got the option to wait for customer input, show a menu, which is what we're doing right here, showing a menu, start another dialogue, or transfer to an agent. So transferring to an agent would be a situation where either something went wrong through like the automation failed, or just like the natural progression of how the bot is interacting with people. You want the bot to gather a bunch of information and then a human to kind of take it from there. There's a lot of different ways you can do transfer to agent. Personally, I like a bot that can operate 24/7 and not have to worry about transferring to an agent. It just really depends on how you use Salesforce and how you're using the chatbot. The other thing to look at when you're looking at your menu is right now we have our 3 menu options for what's the status of my order, create a new order, there's an issue with my order. Maybe I want to move create a new order up to the very top, or if I want to add something else. So for instance, end chat, or transfer to agent, I can add those there. I mean, generally people can just end your chat by leaving, so I don't really personally have a strong feeling about leaving end chat or having the option for end chat. And again, transfer to agent just depends on how you're using it. We'll leave that there for now just for the sake of seeing it in action later on. Again, make sure that you save, because we can see we've got our box here has been highlighted, so that means that there are changes. The other thing to point out, and this is actually a really important part of dialogues, is these 4 functions here. So a message is quite literally what it sounds like. This is a string of text that just says something. So for instance, if we wanted it to say or display a message every time that we visited the main menu, we could add that message right here. So we could say, "What can I help you with today?" We'll save that. So now every time that this main menu is displayed, "What can I help you with today?" is the first thing that's going to be displayed before the actual menu. Another thing that we can do here, once this behaves for me, is you can ask a question. So this is exactly what it sounds like. So we are gathering information from the person that's interacting with the bot. In the instance or the case that we're using here, we could say like, we have 2 different dialogues, one that's for the status of my order and one that's for there's an issue with my order. Both of those are going to require probably an order number or a name or an email address, something. We would ask a question in order to populate that variable. I'm going to cover entities and variables in another video, and then we're going to circle back to putting this all together after I've done that. Actions, these are where you can actually start to use your automation tools. So whether that's Flow or Apex, this is where you can set some of those things and populate variables based on what the Einstein bot has as a variable. And then rules are, let's say I have 2 variables. One is what's your favorite food, and the other is what day of the week is your birthday this year. If your favorite food is pizza and your birthday is on a Friday, then the sky is green. But if your favorite food is pizza and your birthday is on Tuesday, then the sky is yellow. So it's just looking at the different variables or the different scenarios that your bot is going through, and then piecing that together to say this is what should happen now because of these other things. Rules can be really complicated or they can be really straightforward. Just depends on how you're using the bot. Let's take a look at no agent. So this is, it's literally there's no agents available at the moment, and now we're waiting for the customer to have some input. Again, you can change that. It just depends on how you're going to use the bot. Error handler is the message that the person interacting with your bot sees when something goes wrong with your bot, which can happen if there's a lack of access to an object or a field, or if your flow is not properly configured or tested. There is the risk of some errors. This is the message that the person sees. Transferring to an agent. This is kind of a funky one because this is literally something that you throw on there. So let's say there's an issue with my order. We go through that dialogue. The bot is not able to actually help the person, so now I want it to transfer to an agent. Then I would call the transfer to an agent dialogue in order to get the person interacting with the chat bot to an actual person. And then confused. So this is the message that the person sees if a response doesn't quite match up what the bot is expecting. So for instance, with our variables and our entities, we can say, these are our menu items. And if somebody types that they want Brussels sprouts, and we're a pizza place, and we don't carry Brussels sprouts, so it's not on the menu, then this is the message that the bot would say at that time. You can duplicate these. You can do some things to make it so it's more specific. Really, the world is your oyster when it comes to this kind of stuff. So the other thing that I want to mention in this video is that it's really important to consider the type of information that your bot has access to and being very selective with the information that your bot is actually giving out. So for instance, if somebody has an order number, is that acceptable to be able to share the status of your order? Or do they need to have the order number and an email address? It's important to think these things through, because you don't want to share too much information and ultimately have your bot be an issue for your organization. So make sure that you think those things through and that you're not setting yourself up to be in hot water ultimately. But yeah, so that's Dialog Builder at a very basic level. The next video is going to talk about entities and variables. After we've really defined what that is, I'm going to show you how to start piecing all of these things together. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.